Kia ora team and welcome to episode 14 of Yarns with Beef and Matt, powered by LSKD. I'm Beef.
I'm Matt.
And today we have the man behind the Discipline Games events, Mr. Deach Faafou. How are you, brother?
Man, what's up?
How's it going, bro? How's your morning been?
Oh, it's been good. Been a slow morning. Just had the kids, been doing the daddy thing, but didn't take class this morning, which is awesome. Don't like those 5 a.m. classes. That's why I'm always rostered for the 5 p.m. classes. But no, it was a slow morning. Had my kids, and now just ready to rock and roll with this interview. Thanks to you guys.
I feel you on those early mornings. I just had a coach up and leave. And man, I do not miss those freaking early mornings.
Are you taking mornings now?
Yeah, I got a couple, well, all 5.
Oh man, shout out to my coaches. They always come through. I think some of my coaches just went on a big weekend in Queenstown. Flew back on the Sunday and straight into a 5 a.m. class. Yeah, so shout out to Owen and Dede for taking my morning classes and the other coaches. But man, those Monday mornings, especially after a big weekend, is tough.
Bro.
Valuable people.
Hearty.
I gotta ask, bro, is Deach your real name?
The people want to know.
No. Deach, funny story. Deach has come from my alias. I'm actually a musician. So if you don't know, if you don't know my background, I'm a bit of a muso. I'm a third of Smash Proof. And Deach has just come from growing up, just the boys calling me Deach. There was this ad that used to come on. Not too sure if I should say it, but
there's no copyright.
The name was Jetta Deach. Yeah. Okay. So if you are familiar with that type of name, my actual name was Fred, so they used to call me Fred Deach.
Sure. Fred Deach.
Growing up, and it just stuck with me. It was just weird how it just got stuck, and everyone used to just call me that, and then even at the gym, people still don't know my name. Like,
I feel that.
When someone was like, "Oh, is Fred here?" Everyone was like, "Fred? What the hell is Fred?"
No one here called Fred.
Sorry, mate, you're at the wrong place, the wrong gym. But yeah, it stuck with me, and then from then on, the muso started calling me Deach, Sid Diamond, and Ty, and it just stuck with me, and that just ended up being my my muso name. Deach.
There it is.
You for real? You were in Smash Proof?
Yeah.
What a
funny story. It was a funny story because the whole reason why I got into the fitness industry was I gained so much weight on tour. During 2010, which is years ago, I gained like over 30 kilos.
Oh, true.
Yeah, and I needed to change. And this was like just touring, and this was the peak of our career, the peak of Smash Proof when Brother came out, and we toured it for about maybe 2 to 3 years, and it was just non-stop, and that was on the go. So that was crazy, and I just gained a lot of weight. I didn't even think about training. I ate whatever. I was quite bad, like on the weekends, drinking and doing all that stuff, as you do as a excited muso. But yeah, I just had to change. I remember jumping. It was funny. I remember we're at Les Mills in Wellington. I still remember this day. I jumped on the scale. Sorry, the boys jumped on the scale first, and I don't know. It was just something. We were going to the gym. I don't even know why we were at the gym in the first place. But all the boys were in the locker room. All the boys jumped on the scales, and then I jumped on the scale, and it was like 113 kilos. And then I was like, "And the scale must be broken." And then, and then I jumped off, and then Sid jumped on the scale, and he knows his weight, so he looked at the scale, and he looked like just over 100 kilos. And then he looked at me, and he goes, "Bro, like, as in, you're
what's
heavy,
happening,
bro?"
man?
Like, and then it just sat with me, bro. Like on that tour as well, like doing shows, it just sat with me. And then, man, I was like, after that day, as soon as I finished off the scale, I jumped in. I started doing like weights, like bench press. I didn't even know what I was doing. I just started doing any random stuff just to like do something, because I felt like really, I guess, like insecure about like the way I was feeling and the weight that I've gained. And then after that, I met one of my good friends. He's one of the, not anymore, but he was one of the main coaches at this functional fitness gym called Ludus Magnus. I'm not too sure if you've heard about it.
No.
It was, I think it was more like they started and created the whole boot camp style of training, like the tire flips, the like sledgehammer on the tire and the battle ropes and stuff like that. And it was like probably the most brutal sessions you could ever do. And it was so popular in Auckland. You had like the All Blacks doing it. You had like the Warrior players doing it. At the time, Ruben Wiki was one of the co-founders of it as well. It was huge. And oh yeah, sorry, I'm just blabbering on. I just
no, bro.
I'm sure we're just talking about Deach, how we got the name, eh? Yeah. But yeah, so that's how it started. But yeah, I just sort of got into fitness. Yeah. Sorry, I just went.
It's hard to imagine you that big because like obviously we see you at competitions and like you're in shape. You know, so it's hard to imagine. So oh well, you got the weight off, bro.
Yeah. I think it's hard to imagine now, but if you remember seeing those videos, you didn't even recognize me. No. Like, you know, like I was in the back of the invisible car. Like,
bro, I was gonna bring up the invisible car. It was coming. How'd you shoot that, man?
Yeah. Nah, it's been crazy. Sorry, bro, I'm just gonna take this off.
Okay, bro. LSKD plug.
Yeah, LSKD.
Hold it up, bro.
Quick plug.
Yeah, cheers, bro. Keep the sponsors happy.
Yeah, but yeah. Sorry, bro. I just went off topic. I just was blabbering. I was just like started to think about my life a little bit. Like, oh shit, that's right.
Days, eh? The days.
We didn't mean to give you a midlife crisis, bro.
I feel you on the
cut that out. You can cut that.
Bro. So we're here with Deach.
I feel you on the nickname.
Bro. When did you I'm gonna lean into the music stuff for a bit, but when how long did that go for, and when did you leave Smash Proof, or you guys on like a hiatus?
No, so it's been going on for years, like and it's still going on. I think as you know, as life goes on, everyone's sort of just like had families and sort of moved down to Hawke's Bay. You know, Ty still comes to the gym now and then, but I think music was just always an avenue for us. We know that if we want to release music, we can just always come together. But it's never there. We still like do a few shows, big shows now and then. But yeah, we always keep in contact. We're still boys, still brothers, but in the music scene, it's quite hard to get us all together because we like to vibe in a studio instead of sort of just, you know, recording your own stuff and then sending it through. It's quite different like that, because when you're in that sort of buzz, then you don't really get stuff done. Everything's all like half, like there's a verse and then I had to finish a verse and Ty has to finish a verse and someone's doing the hook here. When we're in a studio, and that's how we recorded our first album. We went up north and we recorded it, we filmed it, and filmed some videos up there, and we got the whole the weekend done. And that's where, you know, Brother was produced, Ordinary Life was produced, like all those big songs. And I feel like that's our type of formula that we should stick by if we're going to release music.
Yeah,
fair enough, man.
That's good, man. Who was the girl on Brother? What's her name?
Jen Wigmore.
Jen. Yeah. Man, legendary song.
Banger.
I've got it on my head right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the music stuff too, bro, you done some solo stuff as well. I didn't know that until you announced you were performing with Savage at the after party, the Power Trip. How'd you get on this on the solo line?
Yeah. So I've always been like an R&B kid, man. I love 90s R&B. I've always loved like reggae. I've loved like island reggae, poly reggae. Like that was just me, like growing up with the boys that I used to, you know, get on it with, or you know, like just the boys. So I've always had it, that type of music in me. There was just one time I just was like, I just need to release like this music that I love, you know. And I did, and I was fortunate enough that it hit. You know, Be With You hit, like Slow It Down hit, Tell No Lie featuring Peter T hit, and it was just, I felt like that was my lane.
Yeah.
Because I did release a rap album, and it didn't hit. You know, so I was like, okay, that didn't hit. What do I do now? I need to release something else. And I think it's just more persistence than anything. I just got to keep going, keep flowing, and just keep releasing music. at the moment, I'm still touring off those songs. Like I haven't even released. I'm still getting like APRA checks for those songs like every year. Even my label's like, bro, like you got the formula, like keep releasing music. But then the events came into play, and that took most of my time. And also the gym is taking most of my time. Having a family is taking most of my time. So I sort of just put music on the back foot.
How good,
But
man.
yeah. Still releasing that solo stuff when I can. I do have a tour coming up in January and this summer.
Ooh.
Yeah, just a small tour. Peter T's living in the UK at the moment, but yeah, he messaged me saying he's coming back to New Zealand to see his family.
Yeah.
So we're trying to sort out a tour. I think it's me, him, DJ Noise, and a few others. So it's like a poly reggae tour that's coming. And in the summer.
And you get you guys at One Love.
I think one of the boys, Ra from Hom.
Yeah.
One of the organizers at Juicy Fest, he said he's going to try organize a few things for us. So yeah, maybe.
YARNS at One Love.
Yeah, man, that's us. I'll put you backstage. Hey, that's us. Let's go interview some artists now. Something different.
Where's Matt? He's at the beer tent.
He's on the floor over there.
Hey, they haven't moved. They're in the VIP. They haven't drinking all the drinks.
I was rolling over this morning, and I'll Let It Go come up on the play. I was like,
hey.
Go check it out, man. That's awesome, bro. What a mean segue. That's gangster. Yeah. But let's talk about
we usually start by asking for a bit of background, but you rolled straight into it,
bro.
So that's me.
You guys are professional.
Bro, I'm a veteran in this game, bro. I've been doing interviews like forever.
YARNS with Deach. He's already taken over.
Yeah. So you're also on the side. You've started your Sparky apprenticeship.
Yeah. It was just something that that just like one of my boys, he owns a Sparky business, Shaolin Electrical. Big shout out to him. But he was just coming in to he usually does our floodlights and our security cameras and stuff like that. And he was just like, when you're just being nosy, those ones. Like, oh, how do you do that? How do you do that? And then just one day he was just like, bro, come on the road with me. Like, just come try it out. Like, you might like it. And like during these, like, especially the tough times out there, it's quite hard to sort of rely on one thing. Yeah. So being the person that I am, I just like to dabble on anything, like just whatever it takes to sort of just stay afloat, whatever it takes to get a qualification. And just, you just never know these days. And so what I did was I've been on the road. So what we do together, I go on the road either twice a week or once a week, depending on what type of jobs he does. And I pretty much just an apprentice, pretty much, not officially, but he sort of just teaches me the ways. And I may look into it next year, or like just maybe start an apprentice. But at the moment, I'm just enjoying like learning a few things. I was never like a person that's on the tools. So it'll be cool to be like, hey, I think you might need a new light or a new plug over here. Let me go get my tool belt. Like, those ones. But just knowing, like, and maybe if it does, later down the track, if I want to become a Sparky, then at least I got something under my belt. But that was the whole thing around that. It was quite random. Like I think it was like about 2 months ago. He just asked me to come for a ride along. And then when I came for a ride along, and now I'm still doing it. But you never know, I might take it up. It might just be a fad. I don't know. It's just something that I'm like, I may as well gain as much knowledge as I can being a Sparky, and it might end up somewhere, it might not. But
it's funny you say that like you were never one to be on the tools, and it like fascinates you now. Where like I was the opposite. Grew up like 16, became a mechanic. I've been a diesel mechanic, and then when I was 27, bought the gym. The last thing I want to do these days is pick up a spanner, bro. I'm like, that is it, man. I feel like I did my time, and it's like, I just like if the missus is like, oh, the car's making a noise, I'm like, go see a mechanic.
Bro, that's it, like, I have, especially at our gym too, we got some like business owners that run like construction businesses and stuff like that. And they're like fascinated that I'm like trying to get into the tools, like,
Yeah.
get into that type of, work. And
Yeah.
it's just funny because I think they want to say something to me, but they don't want to say something like,
Yeah.
are you sure? But,
Yeah. Right.
good on you.
Yeah. It's
But
different
really,
though. Like later on in life, like you've done what you've done,
Yeah,
and now you
yeah.
want to learn this new trade. It is cool. It's always exciting when you learn something new.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you I'm not looking back. So
Yeah.
good on you, bro.
I think for me, it was more like, when you just don't know, like what could happen. Like we went through that season of COVID.
Yeah, man.
The gym was closed, like, and you get into a panic, and you're like, Brett, I got everything in my garage. Like I got a bouncy castle business. I got a real fruit ice cream business. Like so much like entrepreneurial stuff that I just do because I just wasn't afraid to do it. Like, you know what I mean? There's so many people that out there that are afraid to take the leap. And if it's going to cost money, like, and if it's going to be a lesson, then it's going to be a lesson. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But during that time, during lockdown, I was like just trying to find ways to be innovative, trying to find ways to try and make cash flow. Because if you got nothing coming in, how can you pay the rent at home? How can you feed your family? So I always made it happen. And that's been just a thing for me, like growing up, not just in the entertainment industry, or like the gym industry, the fitness industry, but even like in music. Music is quite a hard business to sort of like thrive on. Like we were at the peak of our game, but like the boys are still working at the moment. Like we're not living off this flashy house. Like we didn't have money to buy our own houses. And there's a certain amount of like money you can get, and then that's it. The way musicians make money is off the shows. So if your shows dry out, then you got nothing. You pretty much got this royalty that comes around every 6 months or 3 months, and it's not even enough. It's like a weekly wage, and that comes in like 3 months.
Yeah.
And so if you're not producing music, if you're not continuously like releasing stuff, then you're not gonna see the fruits of being a muso unless you're touring. And I didn't want to tour every week. That was just hard. Yeah. So I think it was tough growing up, being a muso. But I just feel like you just got to be innovative for what you have. And I love just doing things. I love creating something new, like this Sparky Apprentice. I was like, fuck it, like I'll just do it. Like,
give it a go.
What's the worst I could do? At the end, I'll get a trade, and then I'm not a Sparky, then I'm not a Sparky, then I move on. But at least I got something to fall back on. Even with the million stuff that's sitting in my garage, maybe they'll come out, maybe they won't.
Yeah.
But
slap the tool bag next to it.
Yeah.
No, I think you're onto it, bro, because it's definitely, I mean, we're all taught down here, this side of the world, get a trade, and having a trade as a plan B is pretty bulletproof, eh? It's like people are always going to need tradies, so it's a pretty good 100%. Thing to have in the back pocket.
Yeah, 100%. Man. What gym are you with? Do you own it?
Yeah. So I own Discipline. It's called Discipline.
Discipline. I didn't even know that. I thought it was just Discipline Events. That's cool.
No. So that's the gym,
bro. Yeah.
But you can see we have a big billboard at the back.
Oh, yo. Whereabouts is that in Auckland?
It's in East Tamaki. It's in
East Tamaki.
Highbrook Park, just around the corner. From the main road, Renegade is around the corner, and Empire is around the corner. But we've been open for quite a while now.
Yeah.
8 years. We just had our birthday over the weekend.
Nice.
We had a discipline ball. So it's just a fancy.
Oh, yeah. Beef was saying that, yeah.
Yeah, the crew just dressing up. Yeah, it was a cool night.
That's mean, bro.
Getting dapper.
I've actually heard of a few other gyms doing that, and it does seem like a pretty cool idea.
Yeah, no, it is, man. Yeah. It's cool because it's, it just happens once a year. Like our gym isn't really big on like, drinks and stuff like that. So it's cool to see everyone different, like dressed up to the nines, like have a few beers and finish early, Finish early, yeah. No, after
7 p.m. You just need to go.
Time to go. Father's Day tomorrow.
Babysitters want to go home.
Yeah, we had Father's Day the next day. So I think everyone just behaved themselves and stop drinking at a certain time.
I wish my gym was like that. We have we have a Friday Arvo club, and like we get after it fitness wise. Don't get me wrong, like, it's like a 40-minute workout, absolute slog. But like out the back of my gym, I have a little setup, and there's definitely no fit aids in that building. Man. So like,
I love me a beer after training day. Like honestly, like
goes
after
hard,
a good workout, I'll have a nice cold beer. Don't get me wrong, man. Like I'm
goes hard.
not a saint. I'm always loving the beers, bro. Always.
Yeah. Oh man, come on down, bro. Tell me, bro.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to it, bro. Looking forward to it.
Good shit, man. All right, let's roll on to the main event. Which is the events. When did this all start for you, bro?
Man, it started a few years back. I would say maybe about 5 years back, starting a gym, because you got to remember I've been in the entertainment industry for quite some time.
Yeah.
And starting a little competition in the gym, getting a few athletes in there as well. We had some of the boys from that went to the CrossFit Games from East Tamaki, Renegade.
Zach Knopfling and
they came for Jam.
Yep.
And some of the big CrossFit gyms out there, but my main focus wasn't necessarily the CrossFit gyms. The target was there was no functional fitness like competitions out there. And it was crazy because when I started the event scene, we started getting so many entries from CrossFit boxes and CrossFit gyms. It was funny because the crazy thing is when we started our events, man, I was like implementing kick sits in there, like, Zoom movements, kettlebell movements, and you have these CrossFit game athletes doing kick sits, like, you know what I mean? Like something that's out of the ordinary. And even I was just talking to Ducky over the weekend, and he was saying that was like a cool comp, that he's never done that type of like workout before, and it was just different. And then that sparked up a lot of interest from a lot of CrossFit gyms coming in, like, hey, they're different, give it a go type thing. It wasn't like, this is the comp you need to do. It was just, they're doing these different movements. You need to, give it a jam.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of support from some of the boys around South, like Hybrid and Alvin, and some of the guys from Aotearoa Empire, and Ruben Wiki, and all those guys just supporting us because they just know me as a person, and they were just just bringing their gyms along to support. And then from there it sort of kicked off to a bit of barbell because of the interest of CrossFit gyms coming into play. There's so many CrossFit gyms just coming, and even our gym, we never used to use barbells a lot, and I think because of our competitions and our judges needed to be schooled on how to use a barbell, I started hiring CrossFit coaches to start coaching at our gym, even though we're not a CrossFit affiliate. And that was the background of the events, trying to get our judges and our crew schooled up on how to, what's a rep, what's not a rep. And and it just started from there, and it just started just blowing up and blowing up and blowing up. And it's been crazy now to see it like, sell out. And I think the fastest it sold out is like 3 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
What event was that?
Discipline Games. Games. Yeah.
The one that the Dewdrop.
Yeah.
Main event.
Yeah. That was one of our big events. But most of them, I think they averaged maybe 12 minutes, 15 minutes, like an hour sold out. Some people like are calling us, hey, it's broken, it says it's sold out.
No, it's not broken.
The link isn't working. It's sold out.
Yeah.
But it's been a blessing as well. But I just need to, because I'm an entertainer, so my main focus and my goal is to entertain, so coming from athlete point of view, how are they going to experience? And I always look at it like, if I was to pay that myself, how would I experience that event? And similar to music, if I was to pay, $80 to see, 660, I want to see a spectacular. I want to see a show. I want to see everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I have an athlete paying, $100, what kind of experience are they going to get? Are they just going to get, like just a competition on the floor, a high five, and that's it? No, I want to keep leveling up. I want to give them like water rafting. I want to give them like kayaking. I want to give them like LED screens, an archway they can walk out, like feel like they're at the CrossFit Games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
And I think that's where I'm hitting the mark on these events. I'm not trying to just have an event and then that's it. Like, I'm trying to just, okay, level up. What do we need? What I need to improve on, have a toolbox meeting, me and Lisa, which is my wife, that we run the events, like what needs to be better. Okay. Portaloos. Okay. We had 10 last time. Let's go 20, and we just got to keep building, got to keep improving, and just always thinking about the experience that the athlete has. We want to try and nail that.
I think at Dewdrop you nailed it. I've been competing since 2014. I got involved 2013, and like I've never been a high level athlete. I just love CrossFit. But that was the first time I like gone through like an archway. And bro, like every event, I was like nervous as. I was like, fuck, I've never felt like this walking on. I was like, what are you up to, bro? It's just a CrossFit comp. But like seeing the LED screens and all that stuff, bro, it was fucking sick, bro. And that arena is really cool as well.
Yeah.
Because like of how where like people are seated, it's real close to the event itself. So
and it's crazy because you can see everything from everywhere.
Yeah,
like, If you wanted to see someone that's all the way on the other side, you can sit on this side and you can still see them, which is cool.
That was hard out, man. And then the kayak as well itself, that was something different, and that was the main reason I clicked sign up. I was like, I haven't kayaked since like school camp.
Wow.
I was like, yo, I want to get on.
That's cool.
That's
cool.
Bro,
you know what's
crazy?
You know what's crazy with that thing is that like we got so many people messaging us saying they can't swim.
Oh really?
Yeah. They've never been on a water raft. Like I never been on a water raft. I was just like, we need to give these guys an experience to remember. So next year it's just gonna blow up, and it has been. And I think it's just been a domino effect. We just keep giving, and always trying to level up every event. And we don't want to come down, bro. Like even Fortress that's coming up, like same thing. We've got the LED screens. We want them to walk out in a big archway, like stuff like that people will always remember it. And especially visually, if you're a spectator and you see it, you'll be like, man, like I want to do that. I want to be a part of that. Like it's not just 100%. About the big athletes. It's not just about the big RX athletes. Like we focus on our community. We focus on novice, and that brings me to where I started. I started doing community group boot camps for a few years. Not getting paid. I think actually we did get paid. We got paid $3 per person.
Oh, yo,
that was just to cover our gas to come from over the shore, because I was staying with my in-laws because we were saving up for our wedding.
Yeah,
the way back to Manukau, which is my area here, to give back. So, and you didn't have to give the $3 donation. It was just more to just cover our gas. It was just like we had a box there, like an honesty box. Those ones. Pray, please put that $3.
Please put some money in there.
Yeah, but even if we got a little bit more, then we'll just go, oh cool, let's go have some dinner as well, like while we're here. But it was something that I've always been into, and that was how we got it into the event business. I was always like, man, there's nothing for the community here. There's nothing, there's all these athletes out there, but what if someone that just wants to give it a go? Like why can't we focus and make them feel like they're some big RX athletes? So when I see some novice and some beginners and scaled walking out that arena and just seeing them, like their eyes light up and their family proud, their mom and dad, they're watching, man, that's what hits for me. What I think. And that's what drives me to keep doing the events.
As far as a spectator on an event like that, if most people's parents, especially the parents at a certain age, they don't really know what CrossFit is because it's not a mainstream sport. They probably grew up watching netball or rugby on TV and that. So to come to an event like that at the Dewdrop, like it legitimizes them thinking, like knowing that their son or daughter is doing this really, really cool sport. they might be a novice or beginner, but like they don't know that, and they're watching their kid come out, and it's like, you know, through an archway, LED screens everywhere. They're like, fuck, like this is on, and like makes them way more juiced up to be there rather than being at, you know, in a local affiliate. And there's nothing wrong with this, but like with, you know, like police tape and watching it that way, which is nothing wrong with that. We get it, like two different styles of putting on an event, but for that it was like, yeah, if you knew someone who was competing and you saw the arena they were competing in, it just like made you way more juiced up to watch the event as well. So nailed it, bro.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Handy. Even like the DJs and that you have on. I mean, the only other place that I've really seen that to that level was like Torian Pro, where the DJ's just got the energy and the vibes going, and it's good for the spectators. It's good for the people trying to get after it when you're dying out there. Sometimes you get that song, sure, bro.
We do have a good team, man. Like our team is number one in my eyes, anyway. They gotta
give it to Jono on the mic.
Jono, man, MC Jono, he's good energy. He's good energy. But it's good because, like, for us, we can communicate well. Like, we know there's times where, okay, boom, do the interview. Okay, we're running behind time. No interview. Go straight into it. Walk up. Bring out the athletes. Like, you know, there's just the synergy that we have together that will just make the event run on time, because that's one of the things the main things that I felt like I dropped the ball off in the mount last year. We had power trip in the mount. And bro, we finished like close to like 10:30, 11 o'clock. Like PM.
Yeah.
And it was because a few factors in there. It was because, one, we were relying on volunteers, which is cool. But there's only so much you can ask for, you know, and that was one of the takeaways that I took away from that event. And just the timing. Those are the two that I really was like, okay, boom, straight away. Next event, no volunteers. Everyone's getting paid. And then from then on, everything just started flowing. And now my expectations are a little bit higher, because I don't have to be not be nice, but I don't have to ask, oh, is it okay if you can you know, judge one more ward, please? Like, you know, it's hard. If they want to leave, they need to leave. Like, and also another thing is that I look at everyone, it's their time, you know, like I'm picturing myself in that position. If I'm like judging all day, that's time away from my family. I need to be compensated for that, you know. I need to have something, you know, get some money out of it, and at the same time enjoy what I'm doing. And that's why we always have a crew, loving crew that always are keen to get behind it. Our judges, we usually have the same judges, which is a good thing, because they're getting schooled up every time. And it's just been a blessing having our team. It's been hard at the start, like, you know, going through trials and tribulations on how the event will work, you know, the timing, the right people, and what I mean by right people, it's just more like delegating people. Okay, maybe they shouldn't be there. They'll be suited at registration, or they want to be suited there. Maybe they're suited at the athlete briefing, or setting up the warm-up area, or like little things like that. And we had to tweak it a lot, but I think we've got a good flow-on effect now, a good pattern with our team, and they sort of know what they're doing. Even for me, I'm not like standing around. That's why you never see me like maybe middle to end, because I'm like already starting to pack down.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I'm very hands-on with the boys. Like, I don't sort of, hopefully one day they can, I don't have to do any work, but
that'll happen, bro. I even saw it at Partners League.
Yeah, but for now, man, I'm there from the morning, from setup, helping set up, to the end, helping pack down. And I think that goes for all the event organizers. They're probably all like that, just how it is.
Handy, bro. And I've had the pleasure of being on that team twice now. It's an awesome group. How many people have you got on average at a single event helping run?
So I would say about 60.
Yeah.
60 of the crew, and that includes our judges. Everything else comes from, we outsource it. like some of the security we outsource, and but our judges crew, our media crew, but around 60. Our team alone is about 20 of us, and they're a solid team, man. Like I don't, it's one of those things I don't have to tell them what to do. They just know what to do. They just come in, boom, get the work done.
It's cool you're bringing in the same people too. It's like a return on your investment. Like you say, they're getting better and better at judging and doing their role every time. It's just getting better and easier.
And I think it's just looking after them as well. Like just making sure, like Lisa plays a big part in that. She's always making sure everyone's okay. When they start to sort of like, you can see them on the floor, they're a little bit too long, boom, off, go eat, go get some water, go get some food, and then switch, get someone in. Even for our media crew, making sure our media crew is looked after, well fed, well nourished.
Well fed is correct.
But we don't want to. We try not to burn everyone out, because we know, for us anyway, the hardest part is the pack down.
Yeah.
So if we can lead them to be like nice and fresh when it comes down to the pack down, boom, it's done. I think at the dewdrop, when you guys were doing prize giving, as soon as prize giving finished, the inside was done.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And we got out of there by, we made a deal with our team. If we finish before 8 p.m., pack down, container closed, everything, then we get to shout everyone Denny's.
Oh, yo.
Man, you should have saw them work, bro. They were working fast, man.
Denny's were on. Yeah, so, I can attest to that, because even up at Partners League, I was doing the final WOD, and I think the final WOD, what time was prize giving, bro? It was like 5:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wrapping up that final video about 7:15, I want to say, and Deach is coming to turn the lights off. He thought, he thought someone just left the light on. I was in there working, but he's coming to turn the lights off. He's like, "We're off." I was like, "Hey." Like they're packed
Get
up
out.
Everything's packed up. I was like,
no, we
what
packed
the
everything
hell?
that we finished at 7:30 that day. And I think that's it, man. Like we start to appreciate and enjoy the comps when everything's done nice and early, and whether you want to stay for Denny's or whether you want to go home to your family, that's what we always try to achieve. Even like structure of how to structure the wards, like making sure the last ward, maybe it's outside or maybe it's a less gear. So the boys can start loading up the other stuff away. Like little things like that I always try to take into account when doing events.
Yeah, like Power Trip, they it was WOD 2 or WOD 3 was the outside on the rig, and then as soon as that last heat was gone, rattle guns are out.
just all down. Like the rig was down by the time they got out.
Well, at Partners League, we had that chat with Bailey and Marnie sorted, and you guys had that like 30-minute break. It was like, yep, you can do it on the floor and there, have all the background and that. Yep. But like we were stuffing around, and you were like, "Bro, like, and then Dean was like, "Oh, that should be all good," and you're like, "Nah, it ain't all good."
I love Dean, bro, because he's real chill.
Yeah. Like he's a great guy, man.
It's like I'm like I go through processes. Like our team is here, boom, 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 and he's like, "It's all good, should be all good," and I'm like, okay, bro. For you, sweet. Yeah, that's something that we like to do. Like, me and Dean, the whole thing around Partners League was to help our athletes, make it over overseas and compete. So
that was awesome, man. Just on like event organization, but mainly on the judging, and this is not just for your event, for like every event, because it is one of the weird sports where 90% of events rely on volunteers. Not every event's run like you, where you pay people for their time, and that like you do rely on a lot of volunteers, especially even like the bigger comps. Down Under said he relies on 170 volunteers to help them out. On the judging alone, what do you think needs to be done there to standardize judging? Because like we've all been to the comp where you're watching your athlete squat to depth, and another one over there maybe definitely not squatting to depth. And, you're sort of like, how do you... And it's nothing on the judges because they're volunteers. Some of them are there because their mate was like, bro, come help judge. And, like, they're probably too scared to give them a no rep because fucking not everyone backs themselves to be like, no rep. They don't want to get shit from someone. But like, oh, fuck you, I am squatting low enough. Like, do you think there's value behind... And I know this would be a logistic nightmare. I don't want to run it. But, like, having a judges like, I don't know, group that go to a lot of the bigger events?
Well, there is one. Waka has organized one. Waka and some of the guys that
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I did not
that
know that.
run
Yeah,
they run a Facebook event, and I think it's called New
right,
Zealand Judges. Um,
nice. All right, we'll link that 100%.
but it's the crazy thing about that is you don't you got a lot of people that are keen to get involved and are keen to have an opinion, but there's no one there to stand up and be like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Like you
Oh
don't get,
yeah.
you know what I
Yep.
mean? You don't get judges to be like, I think that page is it's quite big. They got some big numbers.
Yeah.
But when it comes to an event, whether it's the nationals or the cluster events or our events, is anyone keen to do this? No one puts up their hand. So I think it's more of a buy-in. Like, what's the buy-in? Like, more like the what's in it for us type thing.
Yeah.
But it is really hard to sort of get the judges and get the experienced judges in that case. And I think Waka is doing a good job to get that page up and running and trying to get everyone involved. But because I'm on the page as well and I see it, it's quite hard to get like a buy-in from.
Detraction. Yeah.
It is a tough thing. I think it's definitely missing. I think there should be funding for it. There should be a pool of judges.
Yeah.
I believe that, like, even if the events, maybe this could be a cool way, or the events in New Zealand put money in a little pool.
Yeah.
And have like a little judges like organization.
Yeah, like a board. Yeah.
Board. And then we know we can rely on good judges, because we've invested some money into it.
If you add it onto the entry cost and you say out loud, like, okay, the event is $90, but it's $100 because this $10 per every athlete is going towards this like universal judges board, so that they can fund judges to go to every comp. I can't see anyone really biting back on that, because 100%. Everyone's screaming out for it. Yeah, like, I'm bad for it. Like, if I'm at a big competition and like I have like athletes I coach and I'm bad for it and I need to stop it, but like I will be on the sideline watching my athlete get no rep and someone over there getting away with shit. Like I'm nearly jumping. Yeah, but I don't think anyone, and it would be cool if that could get going. And I'm not the man to do it though.
I definitely think there's a possibility for that to happen. I would encourage that. And that's it. It's just trying to find that pool of judges that are really keen to do it, because we don't have it.
Just that solid base.
Yeah, solid base. Like, if we had 20, well, 20 is probably not even a good number. Like 40 guys that are always keen. They just rotate. And Waka will just keep schooling them on that page, which he does at the moment. That would be awesome. But at the moment, it's just hard to get buy-in. It's hard to get people to actually do it. Like, athletes will pay this money to get these judges, but no judges will turn up, or no judges will offer to help. And then it just comes back to like, everyone has an opinion until it comes down to the real work. Like, are you? I know you got an opinion, but are you gonna step in and help and judge? You know what I mean? Like, but no one will, and that's the reality of it. Like, even for us, like, I've sort of stopped relying on that page to get us judges. I've started just sourcing our own. Like, we have our own discipline games judges page. Which Waka is also a part of, and he schools them online, and whatever WOD we release, we put it on that page, and then
how does that schooling work? Will he put up a video of like an actual event and be like these should be no reps and this is why type thing, or how does that process?
It's more most of the athletes that are on the page like, because we have this sort of like this Google Docs, and you got to fill out the form. And if you've never judged before, or if you've never competed before and you don't know anything about judging, then you won't be picked or selected to judge. And that's the reality of it. Like, we don't get to a point where we're desperate and we find anyone off the road, you need a judge. Like, it's like, no, you need to have some type of experience. Like, you need to have competed to a intermediate level. You need to know the standards, and then from there, Waka will just pretty much show you, because little things like everyone should know the depth of a squat.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't know, then maybe you shouldn't be on this page, or you shouldn't be volunteering to judge. And yeah, I think Waka does a good job in explaining and doing a few videos. He'll post a bit of a video on what to rep on people at his gym, or just like clips off YouTube. He'll post up, and then we'll go through the judges briefing on that Friday before the event.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that gets some traction, man, because it would be good to see.
Yeah, well, it's good 100%. For people to know that is actually going on in the background, because we had no idea.
Yeah, we'll link that up, and if you guys want to get involved,
might get some judges.
I think it's called New Zealand Judges, Judges or something, but it's definitely there. If you look on Facebook, and then there's a few people that are, again, that are always keen, happy to help. But when it does come down to it, and it's not even just about not doing it. I think it's more like time, like travel. If there was a pool of money where the ACOM is sorted, they get paid, and they're well trained, then I think it could work. And I think
people like yourself and Dean are already investing in, like, getting away from that volunteer. There's going to be still some volunteers, but getting away from that volunteer aspect, I think you and Dean are definitely working towards that. And I think other comps, they might be already. I don't know. We've only literally talked to you and Dean, so hopefully we can get away from that.
Where were we?
I can't.
We were rolling.
We're talking about media. And
the camera started overheating, team, but we're jumping back in. So we just spoke a bit off camera there about media, but it sort of rolls into this, like what, and we've asked every event organizer that's come on this question. Making CrossFit events a spectator sport, people pay to go watch it, whether they know who's competing or not. What, in your eyes, and we've had pretty similar answers from everyone, what brings people to an event to watch it? Like what could event organizers be doing better to get people there just to watch the event?
Like say how people will pay to just go and watch the rugby. How are people going to we're just going to go and watch the CrossFit this weekend?
Yeah.
I think it starts from an athlete's perspective. I think it starts from the buy-in from the athlete, and then coming in and making them feel entertained, making them feel special. That's the way I'm looking at it. If I was to pay something to go in and know that I'm going to get the experience that I want, walking out, archway, LED, I'll probably invite as many spectators as I can to watch me. And that's coming from an athlete point of view.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so the more you can feel like you're a superstar. So put it in my position. I'm a muser. So when I do shows, my goal is to get people there. All right. So an athlete's goal is to get people there to watch them perform. So that's what I'll do. So I look at it that way.
That's cool.
An athlete is a performer. They want to entertain. They want to showcase their talents. And I'm going to invite as many people as I can to watch me pretty much showcase. In terms of spectator, I think it's, just supporting your crew and trying to get that experience as well. It's hard for vendors, because vendors, it's hard to ask for a vendor spot when there's going to be so many vendors out there, because you can have that sort of what do you call it, that shopping mall experience with having so many vendors. But what's the case of everyone making money? You know what I mean? Like, you're going to pay a certain amount to have a vendor next to another vendor next to another vendor. So you're pretty much fighting for
on that.
Who's got the best grips? You know what I mean? And it's not. I look at it as a way. It's not really benefiting the vendor.
Right.
You're going to pay a certain amount. So for us, we try to keep our vendors small. If it's going to be, fitness gear, like have 2 or 3 max. if you have 10, there's no point. You know what I mean? And it's benefit them. Let's try and make them money. If you're gonna have food vendor, let's have 1 or 2 max, but have a good selection of food. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna walk away happy. They're always gonna be coming back.
Yeah.
And it's all about, instead of clipping the ticket on every vendor that jumps on, it's more like creating a relationship with vendors. And I want you to win as much as me. So everyone's winning.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I especially with the vendors, I want to keep it small. I don't want to have too many vendors. Even though for a spectator that will look cool, but it's, you got to look at it from a vendor's point of view as well.
Yeah,
I got to give it to you, man. And it's not just from this chat. I get it. The vibe also from working with you is that you are very much that way. It's not a selfish pursuit. You want everyone to win, and it's like, like every area of your comps and the people you bring on, and you're very much that way. You're here for everybody to have a good time and walk away from your events better off. I like that,
thanks, bro.
Yeah, that's
appreciate
cool.
it, man.
No, that's mean. Of all your comps, I did have a question. Of all the comps you run or have run in the past, what have been some highlight moments for you?
I think just seeing the community, seeing the community come in and just support, someone that's, lifting. It could be like a lift as low as like 40 kilos.
Yeah.
But just the look on their faces, their moms are there screaming for them. Like, that is so, like, man, sometimes I get like a little bit emotional. I get a bit teary. I'm like, have to walk out. But those are the things that I'm like, man, this is why I'm doing it. And this is why I continue to do it, is seeing just the support crew. Like, you probably saw it, Partners League, everyone like holding their signs, and
bro.
Such a good buzz, man. And the community need it, and, at the moment, I don't, how do I say it? We're not an affiliate, a licensed event. But I feel deep down that I'm doing the CrossFit community justice for our comps we're giving, because when we run these comps, the majority that come in, and the majority of the focus group that we focus on is the novice and beginners. And then after, when they do it, they get the sense of, I need to get better at barbell. I need to get better at gymnastics. So
hungry,
you'll see them walk in with like a functional fitness or whatever t-shirt, and then the next week they're CrossFit affiliate. You know what I mean? And then, like, there's nothing wrong with having a license, but I feel like I'm playing my part in that way. Most of the functional gyms that I know personally have moved to CrossFit gyms. And it's just more about leveling up, like, it's skill wise, it's a different form of fitness, and it's hard, like, it's, I think if I'm ever gonna license an event, it will be Oceania Cup.
That's cool.
Which is next year, but I don't know. I'm in no rush to do it. Like, I'm here for the community, and I don't want to do it because, like, everyone's
you definitely are doing a service, bro, and like, I'll back you up on that 100%. Your competitions are easily some of the biggest in the country. But not only that, you did Partners League, which wasn't licensed, and it was paying for people to go to the CrossFit Games. You gave money for people to go to the CrossFit licensed event, the pinnacle. So you are definitely doing a service, man. Like, no one else, no CrossFit affiliated event did that. So all proceeds are going towards these athletes to go to the games. It took a non-affiliated event to do that, bro. So that's massive. 100%.
Props to you and Dean, bro. Hard out. That was me.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Oh, well, that's one of many events, bro. What's the calendar look like for the rest of the year?
Oh man, we got so many events. Where's my board?
How many events are you running?
Yeah. I think next year we got about 8 events.
Damn.
Yeah, we got 8 events. We have one that's teamed up with Weightlifting New Zealand, which is Oceania Cup. So they're doing weightlifting New Zealand approached us and wanted us to jump on board with that one, which is cool. I took that opportunity straight away because it's going to be televised. So
yeah, sick.
Is that two separate events running, like weightlifting and
it's an expo. It's a weightlifting expo that's happening. I think there qualifies to get some of the guys to the Olympics.
Nice.
Oh, me. Yep.
Yeah. But it's a week long. We got the Saturday and Sunday, and it's going to be just our event in there. And then from Monday to the next Sunday, it's going to be the weightlifting.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's going to that's at the Dewdrop Center.
Nice. And that's the teams of 4?
17th, 18th of Feb. So it's coming up.
Man. And that's teams of, is that the teams of 4?
That's the team of 8.
Team of 8. And Oceania, and it's, run us through that because it's actually a really, really cool event. I love it, man.
Yeah, because I've been a big fan of like touch and tag, and they always have these Oceania Cups and Oceania and stuff like that. And I was like, man, there's no like fitness, like functional fitness or CrossFit thing like this. Like I'm gonna create it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start it. And it's basically like representing your nation.
Yeah.
Like whether you're Kiwi, you can represent New Zealand, whether you're Samoa, represent Samoa in your way, but it's nations. And this year I want to branch it out. And that's why I've called it Oceania Invitational, because there's not only Kiwis out there, like, you know, Asia and South Africa. Like imagine having their teams and those guys getting together to represent. It's teams of 8, which is off the back. I'm not too sure if you've noticed, but it's off the back Fortress. You got 2 teams of 4.
Yeah, okay.
After the team of 4, you already got a team of 4.
Yeah.
So you're like, let's get 4 females, 4 males, put them in a big team and create a team of 8. And the reason why I wanted a team of 8 is because I wanted that big tag feel. You know, when you play tag or you play touch, you're in a team of like 12 or team of, you know, big team. And I obviously just wanted to be different. Having that, you know, those things where you fundraise, where you raise money to compete in Oceania, like little things like that, and just having the experience of everyone getting together. So how I did it last year, I had villages. So we had the Samoan village, you had the Tonga village, you had Fiji village, you had New Zealand village, Aotearoa Māori village. And even though you're from different gyms from all over New Zealand, you had to stick with your village. So you had to stick with your teammates that are competing. So during the break, you'll come out of your village, you'll talk to some of your mates that you go to the same gym with, but then when you're on the floor, you're sort of against each other because it's nation.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a cool concept to do. I'm definitely going to run it back. It's going to be a 2-day event this time, Saturday and Sunday. And yeah, just ripping your nation. So hopefully see you guys compete as well.
We'll be up against each other for sure. That's I had something just then. It's gone. Man, this is like a 4th in a row that's happened.
You're good for that.
Yeah. Oceania is going to be cool. And then I got another one called Finish Strong.
Yeah.
Which is a race. It's like it's crazy because I had this race. I was going to do this race about 3 years ago, and I tried to get funding from the community because I wanted it to be done. Like it was quite a different race. It was more of like a fitness race with running. So it's sort of like round the bays. You run, you get to a station, do like, I don't know, 100 ground to overhead, and then you run to the next station, and then you do like 100 burpee box.
Sort of like a Spartan race type thing.
Sort of like a Spartan race. So I had it planned a while back, and then I think last year I hit up what Ultimate Athlete? Is it Ultimate Athlete in the Mount? I'm gonna win.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I called them and I sort of roughly like gave them an idea, like would you guys be keen? And they were obviously too busy running their event. So I was like, okay, so it didn't happen. And then I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do it myself. And so basically it's sort of like the Spartan race or the Deca race or the High Rocks race.
Right. Yeah.
we have 11 stations, and every station represents like a different type of gear. So you can start with the rowing, and when you go to the next station, you go through a tunnel, and that will clip your timer that's like on your shoe, and then you go to the next one. Could be like dumbbells, and the workout could be, I don't know, like 20 devil press and other movements, and then you go to the next one. It could be a rope climb, dead ball, but it's all involving like CrossFit movements or functional movements or movements that we do at the games.
Yeah.
You're going to have 11 stations, and then you have a finish line. Everyone wins. It's not those ones, but then you're going to obviously have the competition level where a lot of people are going to be like, okay, let's try to take this out. But it's more just like a fun race. It's going to be different to our normal comps. It's going to be like 2 hours long. Every quad is going to be maybe about 8 to 10 minutes long. And it's pretty much a race. So that's going to be the first one next year in March. But in saying that, we do so many events, I don't even know if it's going to happen or not.
Yeah.
If it does, I hope so. I hope it does. But yeah. Well, I've already booked the venue and got planning. Me and Beef over there, eh, Beef?
Yeah, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. I've seen it.
Yeah. It's hard because the High Rocks just come out, and I was like, oh man, like, how's this for timing? Everyone's gonna think I just copied the High Rocks, but I was like,
well, to be fair, High Rocks has been around for ages. It just wasn't really over this side of the world.
It wasn't big, eh?
Yeah, like last year, to be fair, I was in the UK for a little bit, and they ran one in London. They had 3,000 people show up, and I was like, man, that's fucking. I was like, that'd be loose over in New Zealand. So
yeah, I think it should be coming here soon.
I don't see why not. They got one in Cape Town, New York, London. Like
they had one in Australia not long ago.
Yeah, and I'm sure Tiamutu will probably have it. They'll come to the big central places.
The Rosetown.
Rosetown High Rocks.
And then obviously the discipline games, and then Power Trip is a staple event. I think everyone gets excited to go down to the Mount for. And then we go back to Fortress and stuff like that.
So Fortress kicks your season off? Is that how I'm seeing it?
Fortress in November, so it sort of ends.
Oh, okay. Fortress is okay.
Yeah, so we sort of finish with Fortress, and then you get back into it. You guys should come down, bro.
Yeah,
come down, man. Okay. Come do some interview some of our athletes.
We'll talk numbers, dollars off screen.
Bro, I got you.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, so Fortress is November 4th.
Yeah, correct? November 4th. Yeah. And
that's teams of 4?
That's team
run us through that one?
Yeah, we got so many athletes in that one. I think we got 767 or something.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah.
And that sold out quick too, eh?
Yeah, that's one of our popular ones. It's weird because it's like team of 4, like
bigger.
How can you find a team of 4? But it just sells out because everyone knows that it's going to be a vibe. So they purchase the ticket and then figure it out later.
Harder. Try to find 3 mates after that. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Oh well.
Rightio. This is it's been a good chat, man. Really appreciate you coming on.
Oh, bro, thanks, bro. Like, you can cut some, you can edit, cut out. I was just babbling on some stuff. I didn't even know what I was saying myself. I was like, did I even answer the question?
Easier. It makes our job easier when the guest talks.
Definitely.
But, well, I got a
we hit you at the start.
For you.
Yeah. That's where we're leading to. Good man. The rest of our guests can
potentially be at Fortress, but you never know. Okay, big shout out to our programmers, Houston and Johnny. They're Soul Performance.
Houston, I did my level 1 with him.
Yeah,
shout out Houston.
Yeah, Houston.
Yeah,
Houston and Johnny. They run Soul Performance, and they're like a program.
With Stan coming out.
Yeah, with Stan is this weekend too,
bro. And like, sorry to cut you off. That looks like I wish I signed up. I just didn't. But I had a swim. That's why I didn't. But that looks like a really cool event and a really good meaning behind the event.
I think, man, honestly, man, like Houston and Johnny and that crew, they're just good people, man. And
so good.
I believe the power in collaboration. Like, I never want to hold stuff to myself. I always want to just share whatever I need, whatever I know, and collaboration is everything. So if you're an event company or just any company, I believe that's the only way to grow is just to just be friends with everyone and not throw shade on anyone. It's just like this world is big enough for everyone to thrive and succeed. So
on that,
shout out to Houston and Johnny.
I had a question actually. Because you don't program your events, so do you want to walk us through how you get the programming done for each event? I know we had a bit of a yarn about it one day.
Yeah. So I used to program most of the events, but then man, just running the event just got too busy. And the CrossFit guys didn't want to do kicksits anymore. So but anyway, I thought it was a cool thing to do. Like, and this is like the power of collaboration. Like just getting different programmers involved. And every event that I do, I have a different programmer programming them, and have a different feel of it, different taste. Obviously, they program different. They test the wall. They do everything. So we've had Cullum from Mount CrossFit. We've had Albie. Who else? We've had one of the Ryan from Fortitude. We've had Saw Performance. And I think it's just getting the crew together and just not shying away from that. Like, asking people for their advice. And you think you can, program the WOD for Power Trip, or are you keen to program the WOD for Fortress? And I always try, give back to them. Okay, so let's try. Oh, sorry, and Ryan from Cluster that did our Partners League. So I always try give back to them. So how I try to do it is, okay, so we can bring out a teaser and give you that sort of like space where you can sort of promote your programming, and then from there you can start doing a workshop. This workshop leads to competing at Fortress. So everyone will start doing it, and everyone start, okay, I want to get the ends of Fortress. I need to do this workshop on that weekend, little things like that. And and that's to help them. That's to help the programmer get some numbers, and they might get some athletes. I think one of the events I've seen when Albie did discipline games, such good programming, man. Like, he's a beast. And I'll probably get him again for next year. But seeing him program that, and then seeing athletes that competed or that are around now, they're onto that type of programming. And I love seeing that. I love seeing everyone win, man. Like,
Albie's the man too. Like, he's I don't know him too well, but he's over in Europe, I think, at the moment anyway. Drop the knee, having a kid on your Albie. But like, he's a bit of a beast anyway. Like, he's had some real top level athletes that he's programmed for. So doing the programming at the Dew Drop at Discipline Games, that was mean.
So good, man, so good.
Sandbag carry was average. We don't need it.
Which one was it?
That last one, bro. The last one, I was just wrecked, man. Having to carry that sandbag, man. I was like,
oh yeah, bro. Those dead balls are something else, eh?
Yeah, the dead balls. Sorry, yeah.
I would rather a sandbag than a dead ball.
Yeah, I was far out, man. It was funny. The event with the dumbbell shoulder to overhead, pull ups, handstand walk. Man, I didn't warm up my handstand walk at all. I was like so looking forward to that event. I was like, that's mean, bro. Got time kept, like, because I just didn't warm up my up, and I just fell apart, bro. I couldn't handstand walk 3 meters. I was like, people from my gym are watching. I was like, this is embarrassing, bro.
Bro, you were in a pool of sharks, bro. That RX lineup was something else. It was stacked. You had these Torian pro athletes in that lineup, so well done to you, man. Though.
I just done it for so long. Like, I mean, I remember doing when CrossFit Ruark first opened up. They did like a little competition to be like, here we are. I remember meeting, Josh then, doing it back then. Like, I just love CrossFit, man. I love competing, bro. Once upon a time thought I'd make it to regionals, but that dream died a long time ago. I just love doing CrossFit, bro, and just, you know, turning up and throwing down. Even the little ones, like there was one in CrossFit Tarapa maybe a month ago, and like they just run it at their gym, and I signed up. There was 2 RX teams. And I was like, I just, you know, love just signing up. Podium.
That's
it, bro.
But, you know, just like paying the entry, and they were like apologetic as. They were like, oh, sorry, it's not a big competition. It's not about that, man. I love doing CrossFit.
Yeah.
And, you know, and you guys want to do a comp, then I'll turn up and do a comp.
Man, and just the community out there, right? They're so nice. Like, I've met so many people in the CrossFit scene now. And everyone's just like good people. Like there's no one that's, you know, like especially with our events, you get the odd like, you know, complaining about the score and stuff like that. But their intentions are like quite good. Like after that, they're very like apologetic, like sorry, like I just wanted to make sure, you know. And I'm like, man, these guys are so nice. Like, you know, it's such a cool community, the CrossFit community. So shouts out to them.
It's one of a kind, man. Anyway, we were.
Oh, yeah,
got a bit sidetracked there. So, Deach has got a workout for us. Shout out Houston. Far away, bro.
That's all performance. All right, here we go. He just sent it to me now. I just messaged him before.
Yo.
So, again, not sure if it's going to be. Could. Maybe. But we'll see. Okay, so we got 50 sync hang snatches. This is 2. So, if you don't know, Fortress is a team of 4.
Okay.
So, 50 sync hang snatches. 2, 50 sync lateral burpees, 2. This is obviously over the bar. 4 wall walks, 6 meter unbroken handstand walk, and then 30 sync hang snatches, 30 sync burpees over bar, 4 wall walks, 6 meter unbroken handstand walk again, then 10 sync hang snatches, 10 sync lateral burpee over bar. So you guys can do it together. 4 wall walks, 6 meter unbroken handstand walk again, and the cap is 15 minutes. The weight, RX 60/40, and then that's all he's got.
You can scale the handstand walk into a bear crawl. Yeah, sweet as. And is it always 2 working, 2 resting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You gonna run it as 4s in the class?
Yeah, well, we do like a community, like I said, on the Friday. Earn your beers type class. We can do teams of 4 on that one.
Nice.
And then I'm sure we can. There's always 2 athletes doing fuck all at my gym, so we'll grab them and
or we could do an exercise and then we can rest.
We'll pretend 2 people are going.
It's taking you fellas a while.
That's cool, man. That's a really cool event.
That's a cool one. Like I like burpees.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I love burpees. We had we just
makes fun of us.
We did a competition over the weekend too. It was called Last Chance Project.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Man, it was such a good co-papa. It was about mental health and men's mental health, and it was just such a cool event. Like we started with breath work, so everyone came in, everyone closing their eyes, you know, going through breath work and breathing, and then did the 4 WODs, and then the last WOD, the final WOD, which didn't get scored by the way. Everyone had to put their names in a hat. Then you had to grab a random name out of the hat and grab 2 names, and then I had to just compete with 2 randoms.
True. Yeah.
The last
WOD.
man. Yeah. And it was cool. It was cool. I paired up with a crew from CrossFit Taurus in Hamilton.
Hamilton. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just such a good event. Like,
man.
Shouts out to Ty and Sione, my crew. But it was, man, eye-opener. I haven't competed in so long. And there was this WOD. It was so funny. Like I was getting egged on because there was an assault bike. And how it worked is that you had to accumulate 150 cows. And the boys that I'm with, they're bigger than me, right?
Is that Sione Tatu?
No, another Sione. Another Sione from my gym. And they're like, their thighs are like, bro, twice the size of mine. And he was like, let's go 25 minimum. And I was like, all right, let's go 25 minimum. And it was like there was like a buy-in. You had to run, do your cows, run back, tag, and then the next person. So we accumulated like 50 cows at the end. But I went last, so I had to because it was, I think the cows were full time. So I had to go handy. And then as soon as I got off, I couldn't feel my legs. And I had to go first because I'm not the heaviest lifter in the crew. And I was like slapping my legs, trying to get them working. And bro, I couldn't even lift 80 off the floor, bro. And I was like, no. And then I turned around and saw all my like gym mates with the camera like live. And I was like,
been there, bro.
I was like thinking, get me out of here, get me out of here. Bro, it was embarrassing. I think I got 80 off. But you know, I was like, my aim was like over 100. Like let's just go over 100. And my boys, like, they're heavy lifters. My mate got the heaviest lift. He got 150.
What was the lift? What
was
the
the
lift?
clean?
Just a clean, yeah.
But he was aiming for 160.
Yep.
And yeah, bro, I was just like, like that. I got exposed. Like,
yeah, it happens, bro. It happens.
Conditioning and heavy lifting, I need to work on that. I was just like, nah, I should be all right. But then my boys egging me on, nah, 25 minimum. I was like, how about I go 20, you got 30? Like the smallest out of the crew.
Bro, whenever I do like a competition and I know I'm with like athletes that I program for and they're beasts, man, they don't get to tell me what to do. I'm like, they'll be like, do this. I'm like, no. Like, get fucked.
I think it was because I knew that I wasn't going to pull my weight on the lift.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I got to pull my weight on the bike at least because I'm not going to get as, but bro, that was the wrong move, man. I went hard on the bike.
Yeah.
And then, were you there at Metcon where you're like, when you had the sled push and then you had to run to the...
Oh, yeah, no one could bro,
that's how I felt, bro.
Yeah.
I couldn't even lift my legs.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And I definitely got exposed on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love to compete in a fun way, but not, man, we had some beasts in there. We had some guys from like CrossFit Aotearoa. Man.
Yeah. Like
I don't know his name, but they're like beasts. Had the triplets from Matatoa. Those guys were there. So some big names as well. But it was cool because it was very inclusive. Like there was only one division and different reps would determine different exercises. So for the rig, you had hanging knee raises, which was 1 point. Bar muscle up was like 5 points. And then the bars or pull-ups were, I think, 3 points. Yeah, so it was a very inclusive competition, which I thought was really cool. That is cool. A bit rusty in the competition floor, right?
Time to give it up. I keep saying that. It's like rugby, bro. One more season.
I got one more in me.
Sick. No, that's good, man.
Yeah.
Oh, well, before we wrap up, is there anything you want to plug? Bit of shout out?
Oh no, just man, shout out to those that have just been supporting Discipline Games events. We really do appreciate you guys, man. Like every time we see your faces walk through the door, and we want to always just give that experience that you guys would never forget. But yeah. And thanks to you guys, man, putting this on. It's cool to get a bit of an insight for those that don't really understand the event game.
Yeah. It was always something we talked about because we started it before the games, so we wanted to get as many games athletes as we could on. And then we always said, like, even before the games, like, we want to do an event series because the whole idea is to put a spotlight on this side of the world and like what's to offer, what can we do to bring more attention over here. And I was like, well, just spotlight the events because the events are fucking really good. So
no, for sure. We got to keep growing too. We just got to keep getting better and keep giving back.
Yeah, hard up.
Awesome,
bro.
Oh, easy, brother. Thank you for your time. Appreciate you coming on, and and enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, bro. We'll see you
in a few weeks, eh?
Yeah, bolt.
Good luck in the ward, bro. Good luck in the ward.
Yeah, fuck. All right, bro. Catch you later, mate.
All good.
All right. Bro.
See you, brother.